All right, welcome back. Last time we were deep diving into all the ins and outs of email sequences with Syed Abdullah from emailsequence.com.
He is the expert.
Right.
But today, we're going to tackle something that I think everyone has a strong feeling about.
Oh, yeah.
Cold emailing.
Yeah, the cold email. It's got a certain reputation.
It really does. Like when you hear those two words together, you kind of cringe a little bit.
If I cringe any harder, I might become a fossil.
Right.
It makes you think about all those overflowing inboxes and your spam filters working overtime, and you're saying, ugh, not another one.
Yeah.
But what if I told you that cold emailing, especially in the B2B world, isn't actually dead in 2025?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it might even be like thriving, if you know the secrets, that is.
Oh, absolutely. It's, there's this myth that cold emailing is like a thing of the past,
Right.
But McKinsey actually found that email marketing is 40 times more effective at acquiring customers than social media.
40 times.
40 times we could have had it!
So clearly there's got to be something to this. Why is email still so powerful in the age of social media and all these other communication channels?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think the answer is really in the nature of email itself.
Okay.
It gives you this level of personalization and direct communication that you just don't get with other platforms.
Yeah.
Think about it, on social media, you're just shouting into the void.
Yeah.
You're just hoping that your message is going to cut through all that noise.
You're competing with cat videos and political rants.
Exactly. But with email, you're delivering your message straight to their inbox. A space that they've set aside for things that matter to them.
Right.
And when it's done right, it can feel like a one-on-one conversation.
Okay, I'm starting to come around to this whole idea.
Okay.
But I think the key phrase here is when it's done right.
Yeah.
What does it actually take to write an email that doesn't just immediately get flagged as spam or just deleted without even being opened? Is it even legal in 2025 with all the data privacy regulation?
Oh, it absolutely is. Just like any other kind of marketing, there are rules we got to follow. In the US, we've got the Canned Spam Act,
Right.
which lays out some pretty clear guidelines for commercial emails.
Okay.
Things like making sure it's super obvious how to opt out, using accurate header information, including your physical address, stuff like that.
So no hiding behind fake names or PO boxes.
No, not at all. And it's not just about staying out of legal hot water.
The deep finds himself in hot water.
Okay.
It's about building trust with your audience.
Mhm.
When you respect these regulations, you're saying, hey, I value your time, I value your privacy.
Right.
And that's huge for building a relationship,
Yeah, absolutely. And what about GDPR?
Right.
That's the big one for our European listeners.
Absolutely, yeah. The general data protection regulation, that's even stricter, especially when it comes to, consent and how you handle data. You got to be completely upfront about how you collect and use their data. And folks have way more control over their own info, which is great.
Yeah, I can imagine this is all feeling a bit overwhelming, especially if you're just getting started with cold email.
Yeah.
It's almost like you need a law degree just to hit send.
Yeah, I get it. But it's not as scary as it might sound,
Okay.
There are a ton of email marketing platforms out there that have tools built right in to help you follow all the rules.
Oh, right.
And honestly, the main ideas are pretty simple.
Right.
Be respectful, be transparent, and make sure you're providing value.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So legal stuff aside, where do we even begin with writing a cold email that people are actually going to want to read?
Well, before you even start writing, even a single word,
Okay.
you really got to understand your audience. And I mean really understand them.
Okay, so
This goes way beyond just basic demographics, This isn't just about age or job title.
we're talking like getting in their heads.
Yeah.
Figuring out like what are their motivations, their pain points,
Yeah.
maybe even like their dreams and aspirations, like a marketing detective.
You got it. You want to step into their world,
Okay.
What keeps them up at night?
Yeah.
What are they struggling with?
Mhm.
What are they trying to achieve, both personally and for their business?
This sounds like it takes some serious research skills.
It does. But luckily, we live in a time where information is everywhere.
That's true.
LinkedIn, that's a gold mine for figuring out people's professional backgrounds and interests.
Right.
Crunchbase can give you all sorts of data on company size, funding, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Even social media can give you little clues about their personality and their values.
So we're talking like scrolling through profiles, digging through websites.
Yeah.
Maybe even like checking out industry forums and blogs, that kind of thing.
Exactly. You're looking for those little nuggets, you know?
Okay.
Those little bits of info that are going to help you create a message that's really personalized. You know, something that's actually relevant to them.
Yeah.
People get bombarded with generic marketing stuff all day long.
Right.
To really cut through that, you got to show them that you get them, that you understand their
I understand your situation.
Yeah.
and that you actually have something valuable to offer.
I can see how that level of research,
Yeah.
that would really make a difference.
Mm.
It's like you're showing them, hey, I'm not just blasting this out to everyone.
Yeah.
I actually took the time to figure out who you are and what you need.
Exactly. It's about shifting from like a me approach
Yeah.
to a you approach.
Okay, I'm sold on the research part. But how do we actually turn all of this research and these insights into like an actual email that people will open and read?
That's where the magic of the value proposition comes in, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what we're going to dive into next.
Stay tuned, folks. We're about to unlock the secrets to crafting value propositions that will make your cold emails irresistible.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Before we took a break there, we were talking about, really getting to know your audience in the B2B world, like really understanding their pain points and their aspirations,
Right.
and how important that is for cold emailing.
Mm-hmm.
But research alone isn't gonna, get you replies.
Right. Once you've got that deep understanding of your audience, then you can really start to craft a value proposition that's really going to resonate with them.
Okay, so I've heard this term value proposition
Mm.
thrown around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, I'm still not entirely sure what that means in the context of cold emailing.
Yeah, so basically it's the heart of your email. It's that concise and compelling explanation of why the recipient should care about what you're sending them
Right.
and what they're going to get out of engaging with you.
So it's not just about listing off all the amazing features
Right.
of my product or service.
No, it's got to be more than that. You got to
Yeah.
connect what you're offering to
Right.
their actual needs and their challenges.
Okay.
You got to show them how you can actually help them overcome those obstacles and
Yeah.
reach their goals.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm a marketing consultant
Okay.
and I'm targeting a small business owner who's really struggling to generate leads.
Right.
How would I craft a value proposition that would really grab their attention?
So instead of leading with something generic like, we can help you grow your business,
Well, let's see if we can help you out with that.
Yeah.
you could try something more like, hey, I noticed you're doing some awesome work in their industry,
Okay.
but it seems like lead generation might be a bit of a challenge. I've actually helped a bunch of businesses just like yours
Mm-hmm.
triple their leads in just 3 months.
Okay, so it's specific. It calls out their pain point,
Yeah.
and then it offers them a really tangible result
Right.
that they can actually relate to.
Exactly. And by focusing on their needs, you're also kind of positioning yourself as an expert,
Right.
someone who can actually solve their problems.
So we've hooked them with this really strong value proposition.
Right.
Now what? How do we actually structure the rest of the email to keep them engaged and ultimately get them to take action?
That's where you bring in the storytelling. You want to create a narrative that connects their challenges to your solution in a way that feels natural and engaging.
So are we writing a novel here?
Not quite, but the same principles apply. You need a hook, you need conflict, rising action, and a resolution.
Okay, can you give me an example of what that might look like in an actual email?
Sure. So let's stick with that marketing consultant scenario.
Okay.
So your hook could be acknowledging, how much hard work and passion they put into their business.
Okay.
And the conflict is their struggle to get those leads.
All right, and then the rising action is where I come in,
Right.
and I introduce my services, my expertise,
Exactly.
and I show them how I can help them overcome this challenge.
That's it. And then the resolution is that positive outcome, right?
Right.
More leads, higher sales, whatever their goal is.
Okay, yeah, I'm starting to see how this structure could really make for a more engaging email.
Yeah.
But I have a confession to make. I am terrible at writing calls to action.
Oh, yeah.
They always sound so pushy.
Right.
How do I get people to take that next step without sounding like a used car salesman.
A lot of people struggle with that. The trick is to think of your call to action as an invitation, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
It's not a demand, it's continuing the conversation.
So instead of like yelling "buy now" or "schedule a consultation today," what would be a more subtle approach?
You could say something like, "Hey, would you be open to hopping on a quick 15-minute call?
Okay.
Just chat about your lead gen goals?" Or, "I'd love to share a case study with you that shows how we helped a business just like yours get a 200% increase in leads. Are you interested?"
Those are much better.
Right.
They feel more conversational, more genuinely helpful.
Yeah.
Not so like aggressive.
That's what you want. And don't forget to personalize it, you know?
Right.
Tailor that call to action to their specific needs and what they're interested in.
All right, so we've crafted this amazing email.
Okay.
We've got a killer value proposition. We've got this engaging story.
Yeah.
We've got a nice, clear call to action. What happens if they don't respond?
Right.
Do we just give up and move on to the next prospect?
No way. That's where the art of the follow-up comes in.
Okay. And that is exactly what we're going to be talking about when we come back.
Welcome back. We've covered a lot of ground already, like how to really understand your audience, crafting a compelling value proposition, and even how to like tell a story in your B2B cold emails.
Yeah. But let's face it, even the best emails sometimes they get lost in the shuffle, you know?
It's true, and that's why mastering the follow-up is so important, especially in 2025.
So how do we walk that line between, being persistent and being annoying?
Yeah.
That kind of follow-up that makes people hit the spam button as fast as they can.
Yeah, it's all about being strategic and respectful. It's not about nagging them.
Okay.
It's about giving them more value, maybe some more context that might encourage them to respond.
Okay, I like that framing.
Yeah.
So what are some practical tips? What are some things people can do to write follow-up emails that actually work?
So first things first, timing is everything. You don't want to send a follow-up right after the first email.
Okay.
Give it a few days, maybe even a week, depending on the situation.
Let it simmer for a bit.
Exactly. And when you do follow up, make sure you're adding something new to the conversation. Okay. Don't just send the same email again with a subject line like just checking in.
Yeah.
Give them some new insights, some resources, or even personalize it a bit more based on what you've learned about them since your last email.
Give me an example. Let's say I sent an initial email to a marketing manager about a new social media analytics tool.
Okay.
What would a good follow-up look like?
You could say something like, "Hi, first name, just wanted to follow up on my previous email about tool name. I actually came across this article about the challenges marketing managers are facing when it comes to measuring ROI on social media, and I thought you might find it helpful. Here's the link."
Oh, okay. So you're not directly pushing your product again,
right?
But you're still providing something valuable that's related to their pain points.
Exactly. You're being helpful, not just salesy.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And how many times should we follow up before we just throw in the towel and move on?
There's no magic number, but I'd say a good rule of thumb is 3 to 4 follow-ups. Okay, spread out over a couple of weeks. And remember, each follow-up should bring something new to the table.
Right.
A case study, a blog post, even just a different way of looking at their challenges.
All right, I'm starting to feel like a follow-up pro here.
Nice.
But I gotta ask, with all this talk about AI these days, is there a place for artificial intelligence in cold emailing?
Oh, absolutely. AI is becoming a really powerful tool for outreach.
Okay.
It can help us personalize our emails, figure out the best time to send them,
right,
and even write better subject lines.
Okay, this is where I get really interested. Tell me more about how AI is changing the cold email game.
So imagine being able to analyze your prospects' online behavior.
Okay.
Figure out their interests, their pain points, and then automatically tailor your email to match. That's what AI can do.
So it's like having a personal cold emailing assistant who just knows exactly what to say to each person.
Kind of, yeah. AI can also tell you the best time to send your emails based on when your prospect is most active online, so you're more likely to get that open.
Try to get that open.
That's amazing. It's like AI is taking all the guesswork out of it.
It can definitely feel that way. And these AI tools are always getting better.
Right.
They're getting smarter and more sophisticated all the time.
This is making me both excited and a little bit scared at the same time.
Yeah,
It sounds like AI could totally change how we do cold outreach.
it definitely has the potential, but it's important to remember that AI is just a tool.
Right.
It's not a replacement for human connection. You still got to understand how to communicate effectively, build relationships, and offer real value.
So it's about finding that balance
Yeah.
between using technology and maintaining that human touch.
Exactly. And remember, cold emailing is just one part of your overall marketing strategy.
Right.
It works best when you combine it with content marketing, social media, all those other channels.
Well, this has been a fantastic deep dive into the world of cold emailing. I feel like I've learned so much about what it takes to make it work in 2025.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
Any final words of wisdom for our listeners as they start their cold emailing journeys?
Yeah, don't be afraid to try new things, experiment with different subject lines, calls to action, even the whole structure of your email. See what works best for your audience.
Okay.
The world of cold emailing is always changing,
Yeah.
and the best marketers are the ones who are willing to adapt and learn.
Very wise words.
Yeah.
So there you have it. We've busted the myths that cold emailing is dead, explored all the key strategies for writing emails that people actually want to read,
Right.
and even talked about the exciting potential of AI-powered outreach.
And remember, cold emailing, when done right, can be a really powerful way to connect with potential customers, build relationships, and ultimately grow your business.
That's right. Until next time, happy emailing.